Hey guys, welcome to the Field of 68 YouTube channel. If you like what you see here, hit that subscribe button and you'll get more college basketball content just like this.
Welcome back to the Field of 68 After Dark. John Fanta, Terrence Oglesby, Chris Mack, pleased to now be joined by the head coach of the Liberty Flames, who are off to a sensational start to the season, unbeaten on the year. Ritchie McKay joining us now on After Dark. And guess what, folks? You can see the Flames this week at the inaugural Field of 68 Invitational. Liberty taking on FAU. It's on Thursday, November the 30th. It's on ESPNU. Friday, December the 1st on Flow Hoops. Liberty will take on Pat Kelsey's Charleston team. And then December the 2nd, FAU taking on Charleston. All three games are at Florida Atlantic in Boca. Rob Doster, Jeff Goodman, Matt McCall will be doing pre- and post-game shows. Richie, it's great to have you with us. Congratulations on the start of the year. How excited are you to take your team down to Boca this week and participate in a high-level multi-team event, the Field of 68 Invitational?
Oh, John, first of all, thanks for having me on. I'm even more excited knowing now that you have a black card and hoping that you'll share that with us when we're in Boca. Now, it's
Yeah.
a privilege to be on with Coach Mac, T.O. You guys, I actually stay up often when I can't sleep, and prepping for the Owls will make it a really sleepless few nights prior to the game. But I think it's a great privilege for our team and a great opportunity to have a chance to play against both, in my mind, the two winningest basketball programs last year in the country and two incredibly well-coached teams. So the fact that Field of 68 partnered with us to do this is, I think, is really neat for Liberty, Charleston, and FAU.
Go ahead,
Coach
Chris.
McKay, how you doing?
What's happening, Coach? How you doing?
I'm doing great. Tell me about the transition that your team's going to make here, coming up from the ASUN to Conference USA, and maybe some of the challenges that presents as you go into it for the very first time.
Yeah, Coach, a lot of unknown. I don't have a great familiarity with those programs and the venues. I know the travel is it's catastrophic in terms of we have road games in Las Cruces and El Paso. So, but I do think one of the things we really try to do every year is try and make it as difficult on our guys as possible. You know what it's like in the non-conference. You really don't know what you don't know until you play somebody that can really expose where you're weak. And for all of us coaches, that we really want to address the things that we aren't, so that we'll have an opportunity to continue to improve and grow as the season wears on, especially once we get to conference regular season play and conference tournament time. So I think our guys are excited about being a part of Conference USA. I've been really impressed with the leadership, and I've taken a peek at some of the teams. I think it's a well-coached league that has a lot of talent, but the ASUN was well-coached too. So I think it is what it is until we start playing the game.
Coach, great to see you. I got to ask you, Darius McGee's gone. Last year, you had two guys in double figures. He was at 22 a game. The next guy was, I think, Bodie at 10. This year, it's been an adjustment. You guys have four guys in double figures. What's that adjustment been like? Because he one of the great scorers in college basketball over the last 4 years, and now you're doing it by committee. How has that kind of progressed? And I guess the guys should be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, Tio, he was a bucket now. Like the dude was across half court and he's in range. So, but he wasn't selfish. He was a phenomenal teammate. He left a great mark on our program, and we still benefit from his and some of the ones that have gone before him that helped us kind of get a sense of togetherness, confidence, and selflessness. So we miss Darius because, again, he's a go-to guy. You can put the ball in his hands without drawing up anything for him, and you're going to get a pretty good chance of getting 2 or 3 points. That being said, I think our guys, when I was with Coach Bennett at Virginia, one of the things that I realized the longer you stayed in that program, the better you got. It was a commitment to development and some of the habit building and formation. I think we've tried to take a little bit of page out of that book, and I think the guys that have returned, Kyle Rhodes having a great year. He's a fifth-year senior. He and Shiloh Robinson both came back for their COVID years, and then we have diminutive backcourt. They're both 5'9". Colin Porter, Caden Matheny, both really good weapons for us. And off the bench, Brody Peebles, and we have a couple of guys in Joseph Van Sant and Xander Yates that also make a big difference when we have the ball and on the offensive end.
Hey, Coach, how important is this for scheduling purposes? Because you guys have had a hard time scheduling some high major opponents, but you look at your schedule: Furman, Charlotte, Wichita State, Vermont, and now you have Florida Atlantic coming up. How difficult is that for you? And are you finding games that a lot of guys won't take at the high major level because this is a tough one?
Yeah, Tio, I think that's why that was the initiative to doing all this. It's almost impossible. It's an unintended consequence when you have a little bit of success as a mid, that none of the high majors will give you that opportunity. I looked at Florida Atlantic schedule. I think last year they played both Mississippi and I want to say Florida, and they went 1-2 in those. And the year before they only had one game against the high major. So, and Charleston, we know what Pat Kelsey has done there. So I think there was an inevitability that we had to do something that, by playing the really good mid majors, that would at least give you an opportunity to test yourselves. And so we're loving the opportunity that we get a chance to play FAU. Although seriously, guys, if they didn't have that conference logo, or if it said SEC or ACC, you might have put them on your Cyber Monday. This team is legit. There is virtually no weakness on either end of the floor. I know they were a little banged up when they were in the tournament in Orlando, but man, what Dusty and his staff have done there is absolutely phenomenal. I legitimately think, and this isn't just coach speak, because I was in the ACC for 6 years prior to coming back. Like they're as good as I've seen. They're really complete. So, and then Charleston, they go into Kent last night and get a huge win on the road. We were in the same tournament in Myrtle. Pat's team is coming into form. So this will be a great weekend for us. We'll really be challenged.
Coach, it sure will be. It'll be an amazing weekend. I think when I think of the three programs that are in the tournament, I think the word culture, which gets thrown around a lot, really comes to mind. I mean, what you've done since you've been at Liberty, I know you're going to be humble, and I know you're going to, talk it down, but the way your teams defend, the way your teams win and consistently do it, going up against FAU was obviously in the Final Four a year ago, and then Pat's team was 31-4. You do an amazing job. I feel like the whole tournament's going to be about culture and the habits and the development that each one of the programs has. I guess my question to you is, what do you guys need to do as the season progresses in your mind to become a better team? Is there an area or areas that you really want to see some improvement over the next few weeks, next couple months?
Yeah, Coach, great question. Thank you. Coming from you, man, that means a lot. I am proud of the guys that wear our uniforms. They're great representatives of not only their families, but of our university. And it's really neat to see them play with a joy and a deep sense of gratitude. And answering your question, like one of the guys I didn't mention earlier, Zach Cleveland, who's a sophomore from Normal, Illinois. He is such a unicorn because he brings so many different attributes to the table and on both ends. So I think just the blending of Zach's emergence, Caden transfer from Bowling Green, Xander from Creighton. So just the blending of those guys and the chemistry in which they play with. Again, we all see the offensive end of the floor, and we can deem a different team in its identity as unselfish. But I think there's a defensive unselfishness that you have to have too, in order to be really good or really complete on that end. And I think we're growing in that area. We're not there yet, but it is just November, and we're off to a decent start. So as the days wear on, I think that's got to be one of the areas that we improve on.
Ritchie, before we let you go, I think for those who don't know this, Coach, you're at Liberty as the head coach from 2007 to 2009. And then you go be with Tony Bennett as his associate head coach. Then in 2015, you come back to Liberty, and you've led this program to 3 NCAA tournaments, multiple postseasons, and just consistent 20-plus win years, year in and year out. I want to know, one, the thing that maybe America doesn't fully know about Tony Bennett, and two, what advice you would give to somebody younger that's trying to coach.
Yeah, great question. The thing America doesn't know but would want to know about Tony, well, he doesn't have a black card. Now, Tone he is what you see on television. He's got a great sense of humility. He's incredibly competitive. I think probably one of the sneaky attributes that he possesses is he's good at any sport or anything that has to do with hand-eye coordination. Like the guy is unbelievable at ping pong, tennis, golf, and literally he can not play any of those for months at a time. Come back and start hitting it and really beat you down. But I love my time there. That's those guys are family to us, and obviously root for them and follow their program very closely. In terms of what advice I'd give, and I think Coach Mack and I listened to Coach Boeheim last night. T.O., you've been around it a long time. You guys know. I think what's most important is to be yourself, to be an authentic version of who you are, and not be the imposter version of maybe what you want people to think or feel about you. Because I think we were all created for a reason, and it's never for just ourselves. So living in that true identity, and I think seeing if you can't contribute or add value to someone else, I think it's not about the X's and O's and how much you know that, but it's about how you care for people and try and serve them and make their day better. I know it'll sound kind of corny, but I think it's a simple way to go about your everyday life.
All right, we got about 60 seconds here. I'm glad to hear that Tony Bennett does not have a black card. And again, folks, I do not either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you'll ever be able to live that down, bro.
Yeah, I won't be able to. Before we let you go, I spend more time at McDonald's than I do at the Capitol Grill. Before we let you go, we got 50 seconds. Tony Bennett, okay, it's reported Tony Bennett is going to be in a pickleball tournament that is developing right now conceptually in Arizona at the Final Four. So it sounds like Bennett could come out and be a front runner in this. We got 30 seconds here. Coach McKay, can we get you to commit to the pickleball tournament at the Final Four?
Absolutely not.
He's already done enough for the field. He's coming out.
He's right.
He's already done enough.
All right, check out Liberty against FAU Thursday, 6 Eastern Time, ESPNU to kick off the Field of 68 Invitational. Ritchie McKay, thank you for the time.
Thank you for watching the Field of 68. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, hit that like button, share this link with your friends, or check out the description for some other places that you can consume Field of 68 content.